Yo, what up, what up? What up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys are doing good. We'll wait just a minute to let everyone come in and we'll get started. Right now, I'm watching Sint, keeping eyes on SINT, so appreciate you, Roy. Thank you. I always feel pretty confident after getting a haircut, so hopefully today's a good day. We'll wait just a minute to let everyone roll in as usual. I hope you guys are doing good. We're going to go over kind of the breakdown of today's stream. We're going to go over, I know a lot of people are wondering what's going on with AMC and GME. What's going on? So let's pull this up. All right, so GME, yesterday on the stream, or 2 days ago, I drew out my zone and I put it on Twitter and I showed you guys the zone, right? So we recapped that yesterday and we said, okay, oh, it's actually drawn here from before, from yesterday's stream. I said potentially on GME, this whole pop could be a liquidity grab from the weekly chart, or the monthly chart was. All right, so we have resistance on the monthly from right here, this wick right here, right? You guys can see clear resistance. I said this could be a liquidity grab, so we break over, grab all the stop loss orders up here, and then come all the way down, right? So I said it probably wasn't likely. It wasn't a high probability, but it's a possibility that this whole thing could be a liquidity grab for a move all the way back down. And that is the scenario that happened. And we bounced off right our zone 36. So if you had this pulled up, this was the money zone. Once again, I'll show you guys why we had it from the monthly, right? We have buyers anticipating to come in right here on this candle, right? This wick right here. And you guys can see literally to the T GME bounced here, right? So for AMC, I want to talk about AMC and EMAs. So this was some resistance that we talked about. We were watching 1070 for a bounce. Didn't really hold, so no entry all the way back down to this zone right here, which ended up working perfectly as well, right? So this one was from the weekly. We see buyers come in here, right? Just like GME, we got the demand zone based off of buyers, previous buyers, right? We had buyers here, flip into selling pressure. So this was a demand. This was previously a demand that made a little pop, right? A little pop, and then obviously a massive supply. So we're looking for this zone to flip into demand, and then obviously we're in that zone right now. So can AMC bounce? Yes. Does AMC look good? Looks great. I think AMC is going to start heading towards that 787 pretty soon. Now 787 is not guaranteed, but you guys can see this zone is almost magical, you could say. Now there's two scenarios, right? What you want to see AMC play out, right? We've already grabbed liquidity. So we talked about stop loss orders. We grabbed stop loss orders under this level. Now most traders are going to get stopped out on this, on that low. That's where most stop loss orders are. Retail is going to place their stop right below support levels, but you have to let the candle close. You have to let the stock play out. A1 just came on the scanner. Oh, wow. Okay. We're talking about AMC. So yeah, we could look for something like this right off that zone, right? Or a break below, reclaim and do that, okay? Or we break below and reject and continue down. These are three scenarios, okay? Break below, probably not, just because the significance of these moves, this is not a small move. From $6 all the way to $9 off of a zone is not a small move. So there's obviously a lot of liquidity and a lot of orders sitting here. So this isn't like some small ass demand zone, right? This is big. So this is what we're looking for on AMC. Now, one thing I do want to talk about on Webull, that's where I have my charts next to me, my execution, is EMAs, okay? Yesterday on Twitter, I posted about EMAs. Today, I posted about SINT off of the 20 EMA. You guys can see we're doing pretty well on SINT for those that are in with us. We're doing 20 EMA right here on the 1 minute chart, right off of previous high of day. So right off of previous high of day, what do we say? They're going to grab liquidity, right? They're going to grab liquidity. So what happened? Here's the previous high of day. Guess what? Every single person who stopped out here was liquidity. They are now trapped. You guys see that wick right there? They are now liquidity. They were used as liquidity for the move back up. So once you know the trend, then you can become profitable. You have to realize the trend, right? So if the EMAs are with us, then you focus on the EMA trend. If on AMC, the EMA, all right, let's look. EMAs were positive, right? We were over EMAs. So riding the 10 EMA, riding the 10 EMA, riding the 10 EMA. As soon as the 10 EMA cracks, dump. And then we flip trend here. So this was a trend trade for longs. Now this is a trend trade for shorts. So if you're buying over here as a long position, you're fighting the trend, right? You're fighting the trend. So if we go to SINT today, the EMAs that I'm talking about is 10 EMA right here. We're over the EMAs. We're over the EMAs, okay? That's the 10 EMA bounce right there. Let's look at the 1 minute chart. 20 EMA. This is when I was mentioning it for a 20 EMA curl. All right. And then we reclaimed. Does this make sense? You guys see the 5 minute, 10 EMA? Sorry, the 10 minute. We hold the EMAs here, right? Larger time frame. We hold the EMAs. Same with AMC. We reject the EMAs earlier. Look at that. That's called an EMA cluster. That's an EMA cluster. It's almost 95% chance that you will not get over this. You will not get over this just because there's so many EMAs. That'll tell you the full trend. All right, so you guys, does this make sense? Let me know in chat. Let me know in chat right now. YouTube chat, Discord chat, let me know. You guys understand the EMA and trends? So when you're holding for the moon, does that make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Now let's look at AMC. All right, AMC is looking pretty good off of this zone, right? This A1 is going nuts. All right, so you guys can see AMC, this is our zone. We talked about it. Someone asked, can you talk about it? Yeah, so we did talk about it. We talked about AMC. This is our zone right here for those tuning in right now, right? We have our zone right here from the weekly. Pretty massive zone, so we're looking for a lot of leftover liquidity right here for a move to the upside. All right, now what I want to talk about. Pennies are hot right now. We had FFIE with a massive move yesterday. Super incredible, right? From 12 cents to 70 cents. From 10 cents to 70 cents. Insane. Absolutely insane. GFAI is on the run-up right now. They just had news. We'll be watching it. That's why I'm trading SINT. That's why these pennies are hot right now, because of FFIE. All these companies and all these market makers and all these people are chasing these low flow penny stocks, right? Not just $1, $2, but penny stocks like 15, 16 cents. And that's what you can make big money on, right? If you have the right stocks here. So that's why we're focusing on SINT, and that's why we're focusing on these pennies. There's so many out today, like BSCF, BSFC. Like this one. This one's running today, right? You guys can see we have new highs. We just grabbed liquidity over these highs. Okay, so there's liquidity grab. But overall, you guys can see we have, a very nice setup. Yeah, SLNA is a penny stock as well. You guys can see AMC is coming out of the zone. So this is our zone that we're talking about. Looking pretty good. So let's go over SINT a little bit more. Let's look at the bigger picture now. So we broke highs, and we didn't just grab liquidity, right? We didn't grab liquidity over highs and just fail. Okay, we actually had a strong candle close with strong volume. right? A lot of buying pressure. Candle closes up here. Slow pullback, right? And then after that, it wasn't a knife. It wasn't a knife. It was a slow pullback on declining selling pressure. Okay, low pullback, low volume pullback. Okay, low selling pressure compared to the buying that came in. Okay, so that's why SINT was a good pullback off of previous high days, rather than you know, just being a liquidity grab. Okay. All right, so hope that's pretty clear. Now we're looking at, let's go to the daily chart now. We're looking at 16 cents right here. So this is where we're sitting at. Okay. Now, what are we going to do? Dip down. Let's find some levels. 16, 15, 16. Okay, we have a level here. A level here. Now let me show you guys how I got this level. Leftover liquidity, leftover buying pressure. You guys can see leftover buying pressure right here on SINT, okay? SINT, leftover buying pressure. Omar, we're creating my watch list right now, but I'm showing you guys how I'm doing it. So you guys can clearly see leftover buying pressure on this wick with high volume. That's the highest volume candle on the daily chart. So we're looking for buyers to step in here. Let's go to the weekly now. There's a lot going on the weekly. Okay. That's a lot going on. I think I'll stay on the daily. But yeah, this 1539 to 1498 is my zone now, where I'm looking to probably go long. So 1539 is what you want to see eventually hold before that massive move up. But under 1449 and 1539 is all liquidity grabs because we broke over it, right? We're setting up for a very nice move on SINT. Something like this, realistically. Either like this, okay? Or we pull back into this 1498, grab liquidity, and make that move up. These are potential scenarios that I'm looking for on SINT. I think this is very bullish. We're still in, just riding the wave, and looking for that new high day. Okay? Hope that's pretty clear. So this is the plan on SINT. Now we're going to be looking at we're going to be looking at, let me pull up the stocks that are running. All right, so we have FFIE, BSFC. All right, let's go over EDBL because although pennies are running, I love my small cap stocks. Let's see the news here. Let me pull up the news. EDBL. Okay, looks like it was earnings. If I'm not mistaken. 617, 717. Yeah, it was earnings. Okay, interesting. All right, so here's EDBL. Here are the earnings. 480K float. Okay, 480K float. That's very beautiful. That's intriguing. Now we talked about liquidity grabs, right? So where does liquidity sit? For those people that have been tuning every single day, where does liquidity sit? Where does liquidity sit? Tell me. Above and below. Above what and below what? Let me know in chat. Where does liquidity sit? Above. Yep, above highs and below lows. Above highs and below lows, okay? Remember that. Above highs and below lows, okay? So now we're looking at 797. We're looking at 797 as liquidity. So We broke over, grabbed all the orders with big volume, right? We grabbed all the stop loss orders and we pulled back. Now we need buyers to grab liquidity to the downside before making a move on EDBL, okay? We need buyers to grab liquidity. So where's buyer structure at? I would say right around here, right? We would look for something right around here, off of this previous high, right? This is where the candle open was, and this is where we have a new structure, meaning candle open, okay? Candle open rejection, right? We flip trend here, so we make that resistance into support, and we make that pop. So here is the new structure, okay? This is the new structure. This right here, this area is the new structure. So now we're going to be looking for a pullback down to 683, like this, like that, okay? That's what we'd be looking for on EDBL. That's the plan. Right now, it does look like it's getting lighting up, but we have resistance at 797. Either we pull back to our 683 or 697 break, pull back into it, candle close over like we did on SINT, okay? And then make that move up. So these are two scenarios. Pull back into 683. Now, better risk to reward trade. The better risk to reward trade is obviously down here at 683. See, they can still grab liquidity up here. So now let's look at the larger time frame. Let's look at the daily, the weekly. And let's take a look at the weekly here. Where are we sitting at? The buy that we want, on SINT, or sorry, on EDBL aligns with the weekly right here. The candle close. The candle close at 637. So that is a pretty big zone, but just in between that, that's our buying pressure. And then selling zone is right here. This is selling area. Right? Oh, wait. Oh, wrong line. That's our selling zone. And then once again, we would gap up to like right here, 980s. That's where we have room to. So if we hold 797, we have room to 853. Over 853, room to 879. A plus setup is down at 683. A plus setup is down at 637. This is where I would love to add. Okay? That's where I'd love to add. But if we see continuation, then I'll play pullbacks on these levels. Okay? Is that clear? Is that clear on EDBL? 480K float. They have good earnings. We know the plan now. Okay? Should be pretty clear. Does that make sense? Is the plan clear on EDBL? Let me know in chat. Let me know in chat. Is the plan clear on EDBL? Do you guys understand how I got my levels, what I'm trading off of, and how to trade this? Okay. Okay, next one. This is actually looking real good on EDBL. EDBL is looking really good. Next one. We have some time. We're good on time right now. All right, AWIN, no news. We'll go over SPCB actually because they have news and it's a penny stock, so probably a higher chance of running. Okay. I want to make something clear. Where does liquidity sit? I want everyone to have this ingrained in their head. Liquidity sits above highs and below lows, okay? Above highs, below lows. Above highs, below lows. Clearly, you guys can see we have a high here on SPCB. We reject, okay? We reject. We try to break it on good volume, but then it's just a liquidity grab, okay? That's just a liquidity grab. But right now, it's actually holding up really well. Okay, right now, SPCB is holding up really well. So I like the way that this is setting up because they grabbed liquidity and they started bouncing it. They're going for the reclaim. So there's a lot of buyer strength here. So I think that SPCB, if we get a candle close over this 28.5, we're going to start to see new highs on SPCB. But the 5-minute close is going to tell us everything. Okay, so we're looking for either a 5-minute close above this for a breakout trade, right? Which I typically do not do. unless the breakout resistance becomes support, right? So we're looking for this to become support, and then we'll look for either a pullback down to 26.11. Okay, this would be a green line, something like this, for a liquidity sweep below that level. Okay, does that make sense? Why we're getting that level? Simply because there's liquidity above highs and below lows. Okay, so let's go to the daily chart now. Let's kind of clear this up. Okay, let's clear this up. Right now we're sitting at 28 cents on the weekly, which is literally right at high day, which is literally at this high wick resistance. So let me take a look. See, this is a pretty big resistance from the weekly. You guys see that? We just found it. Pretty big resistance from the weekly. Or that's the monthly, actually. So pretty massive resistance right here. So 28.29. What would I look for here? There's a massive scenario in play, right? So on GME we saw break of high of day, liquidity sweep. On SINT we saw high of day. That one didn't get a liquidity sweep, but we keep going over liquidity above highs. Okay, so what is this? A high. Except this high is not on the 5 minute. This high is not on the 1 hour. This high is not on the 4 hour. This high is on the monthly chart, the most intense chart you can get for a larger time frame. Okay, so that means there's a lot of liquidity sitting here. So it's going to be very hard to get over this level. That means every break over this is a liquidity grab. Every break over this is a liquidity grab. Every break over this is a liquidity grab. Once we do break this level though, once we make 28.29 support, this thing has room all the way back up to 35 easily, right? But we must make 28.29 support, and that's exactly what it's doing right now. So we have room back up to 40 actually now on SPCB. I'm actually taking a little bit here because I love that chart. I just picked some up. All right, let the team know. All right, you guys see the reason why I just took this stock? We talked about it, right? A lot of liquidity here, but once we turn into support, oh, we have so much room here. You guys see we're playing with so much room here. 29, 28, 29, all the way to next resistance, 35 and 40. So first line here, we'll remove this blue drawing, okay? And then we'll have resistance up into 38 and then 40. Okay, so this is all resistance. So we bought here 28.29. Now we're looking for that squeeze towards 34, 35 as first price target. Okay, 34 and 35 as first price target. You guys see we're making a nice run, but I'm not going to be scaling out. Why am I not scaling out right now? There's a difference. What I said yesterday in knowing market conditions and sizing in. Am I in with massive size right now? No, because it's pre-market. But can I hold my trade longer for a bigger move? Yes. Why? Because FFIE has momentum. All these penny stocks have crazy momentum. So if this starts hitting scanners over high day, plus we have our thesis of 28.29 hold, we have room to 35 cents. Okay. Now I'm not in massive, right? But with the size that I'm in, I have very low risk, right? We added almost near the bottom. All right, let's check out the risk to reward from here. Most traders just want to chase, but let's check out the risk to reward. Okay, 29s. We have first price target at 35. Okay, stop loss below 20, right below 28. Let me know if this is a good trade. Every single person, let me know in chat right now. Is this a trade that you would take every single day? 1 to 5 R trade. Is this a trade that you would take every single day on SPCB? Yes or no? Is this a good trade to take on SPCB? Let me know. How often would you take this trade on SPCB? How often? Every freaking day. Every freaking day of the week is what I would do. I would take this trade every single day of the week on SPCB just because of how good the risk to reward trade is. We have a great thesis, right? We have a great thesis behind the trade. We have a lot of room to run from 29 to 35. That's all. Let's see. We have from key level to key level. That's about a 25% run. Okay. And then if you do take a loss, you take a 5 to 7% loss for a 25% win. Beautiful risk to reward trade. Okay. So let's move on. We'll wait for the 10 EMA to catch up here on the 1 minute chart and come back to this. All right. But we're looking pretty good. Let's look at some other ones. What else is running? Rally had news. Rally is a penny stock that had news. Okay, so we'll go over Rally. We have not. Okay, we did break over highs here. All right, so beautiful lesson right here. We talk about liquidity above highs and below lows. You guys see that? Most breakout traders are looking to take this breakout trade right here. Most breakout traders are looking to take this breakout trade off of 39. Except market makers are grabbing liquidity. You guys see that? You guys see that wick right here? Most traders are going to be like, oh my gosh, it's running. Let me buy this breakout. Was that a good trade to take? All right, let's talk about risk to reward here on Rally. All right, so let's look at the next level. This is, we'll probably target 44. All right, let's look at risk to reward here. Am I joining FFIE? Probably not, because it's super extended. There's so many other plays to take. All right, so we're taking an entry. Let's just say we're taking a breakout trade, okay? You take an entry right here. You're targeting a 15% run. Now, where's your stop loss at? Where is your stop loss? Well, realistically, below lows, I mean, I would have to have it at least right here, below this resistance, below this low, so under 33. So you have a 1-to-1 R trade. Is this a good trade to take, or is SPCB the better one to take off of just based off of risk to reward? Okay, just based off of technical setups. You're buying dips rather than buying a breakout, right? You're not liquidity on this. When you buy what was it? Rally. When you buy Rally, you are obviously liquidity on the high of daybreak, because we said liquidity sits above highs and below lows. Okay, we're getting a nice bounce on SPCB. Now, one thing I do want to say is that have the 20 EMA up while everyone is sitting here. I want everyone to have the 10 EMA and 20 EMA on your chart. Everyone pull that up right now. I'll give you guys like 30 seconds to do it. 10 EMA and 20 EMA. Right? So that's going to be your trend trade guide, just like on AMC. Just like on AMC, we talked about the EMA rejection here, okay? So on SPCB, what's going on? On the 5 minute. Right, we're holding EMAs, and then on the one, holding the 20 EMA. You guys can see the 20 EMA trend. Okay, so that's why EMAs are very powerful and very important. It helps you distinguish the trend. I don't take entries simply off of that, but I use it as a guide. I'm like, okay, well, the EMAs are flipping. Now retail is going to see the EMA flip. It's a bullish setup, right? It's a bullish indicator. So that's just something to keep in mind when having indicators up, okay? Let's take a final look at AMC. You guys can see that we're breaking out of this zone right now, okay? We're breaking out of this zone that we have been talking about, super powerful. So I want everyone to have this zone marked out as well from 590 to 610. 590 to 610. We'll go over GME once more, see what's going on. Oh yeah, we didn't mark out new GME zones actually. I think GME probably just back down to like this right here. I think GME is gonna come down to 39.6 and then bounce right off of this wick, because this is where we have our zone. Best risk to reward trade on GME is gonna be something like this. Liquidity grab, okay, grab stop loss orders, and then start to head back up. Okay, so that's what you want to look for on GME. Any questions? What questions do you guys have? We'll take questions. We have about 7 minutes, so I'm gonna end it soon, and then we'll head over to live trading. I typically don't trade much in pre-market. But just because, I mean, market's been super hot. I like to be really patient for my A+ setups, and you know, just bang those out and make some fat cash. Is EDBL showing good volume? So EDBL is probably one of my top watches, not just to take an entry right out the open, but just because I know how EDBL trades. I want to see it down to 683, and that's where I'm going to be looking to go along on that. Am I holding SPCB into open? Yes, but I only have a little bit, okay? Just remember, my pre-market size is small, and I'm gonna be focusing more on intraday setup. So if SPCB doesn't pop within the next few minutes, I'll probably just kind of cut my size a little bit more. But I want to focus. I want to have a fresh mind going into open, right? You want to have A+ setups. You want to make sure that you're really dialing in. Okay, so dial in on these setups. I will make sure that, okay, one final thing I do want to say before getting off. Is that there's so many pump and dumps right now. There's so many stocks running. There's so much noise. So I will do my best to guide you guys between this noise. I will do my best to help you guys navigate on which stocks to trade. Right now, EDBL is rejecting resistance. We want it to come down to 683. We want to see SINT. Remember, like we said, grab liquidity under this 14 level. Where initially it was 1539. So right now we're not holding this level, but the final is 1415. Okay, so here are the levels for SINT. FFIE, I'm probably going to avoid today just because it's so extended, right? Everyone who's probably trading it up here, I mean, it could make another run. Anything is possible, but I'm looking for fresh plays to be early on, okay? SPCB, we're looking at this 28.29 level. If it cracks under here, we're going to take that. We're going to cut it here for a 5% or so loss, and then move on to A+ setups into market open, okay? So we have about 4 minutes. I'm about to join live trading with my team right here, mmlinks.co/7days. If you guys want to live trade with me and navigate through these A+ setups, we're going to be hopping into live trading right now. I'll be having another YouTube video coming out on how to navigate between all this noise, because there's so much going on and so much opportunity to make money. So I will make sure that everyone can make some money, okay? So yesterday was a $5,000 day on profit. Hopefully today we can hit something similar to that 5 to 10K. That's what I'm aiming for on these super hot days. But the focus is dialing in on these A+ setups, focusing on your edge, having good risk management like we did on SPCB, good risk to reward trades, and that's when we make money, okay? So don't just force trades, don't just rush and be dumb into these trades. Remember, market moves on liquidity and not your retail ads, okay? So that being said, I'll see you guys into market open and live trading in the next minute, switching over there. Sorry if the mic is cutting out, but I'm not sure why. But anyways, I'll see you guys on either tomorrow or Friday on the stream. Other than that, it's been Minnie. Peace.